New grandparenting, and we are so thrilled to have her with us today.
Thank you.
It's an honor to meet you. Your son-in-law is from Kansas City.
He is. I have a connection.
My goodness, we didn't know that. This is awesome.
It's wonderful. And in fact, he has an identical twin, and they both, well, obviously, both grew up here.
So do you spend a lot of time coming back here with your daughter?
A little. Well, she's not here.
Yeah.
They live in Los Angeles, sadly, and I live in New York. But when you were just saying that this was one of the most transformative, wonderful experiences of my life, every grandmother listening knows exactly what I'm talking about. Because we all have this. It's just unexpected, deep, totally changes our whole personality in a way none of us expect. And we're all told it's wonderful.
Right.
But until it happens, we don't get it.
What is it that profoundly changed you as a person so much more than even becoming a parent?
Oh, it's so different than becoming a parent. One of the big transformations is that when you're a parent, you're really a policeman. You know, you're getting your kid ready for life. Did you do your homework, eat your vegetables, all of that stuff. Sit up straight. When you're a grandparent, and this is quite automatic. You don't control it. You don't think about it. It just happens. That little kid is perfect. And you become so indulgent. You don't even recognize yourself.
You're the yes person.
Totally the yes person.
All your kids are like, Mom, why did you kill my kid?
That's not, I mean, there's a lot of joking about how the relationship with your child changes and you just focus on the grandchildren. I think that I think our children love when we love their children that much.
Talk about being a role model for any child, any woman, really any journalist out there. You joined CBS News in 1972. I mean, The Price is Right debuted in 1972, and you have...
So the year of Watergate as well.
Which you covered.
Yeah.
And that really gained steam in your career, and you do a bang-up job on everything you do. I imagine you're always asked by women in any business, how do you survive when you started at a time when no one was hiring women? You were one of the first women hired.
Well, the truth is that I came in on what they call the first wave after affirmative action passed. And in those days, affirmative action was really popular. It isn't anymore, but it was then. So I sort of began a movement. I wasn't the very first by any means. There was a little group of us that came in the early 70s. And, you know, I guess I decided in my mind that our bosses wanted us to succeed. They did not want us to fail. So I never went down that road of saying, if I didn't do a good job or whatever, oh, there's sexism. I just felt, do a better job, kiddo. Because I felt that my bosses were supporting me.
Did you ever have to deal with coworkers who said, oh, you were just hired because you're a woman? Did you feel like you had to work twice as hard to dispel that?
Well, when I was hired, there was kind of an apprentice system where they brought us along more slowly than you do today. Today, kids are just thrown in and you sink or swim. In those days, we were helped along, started out in, even though I was at CBS News, did a lot of radio. So it wasn't so sink or swim. And they nurtured us more than you do today.
Do you see any things, including the lack of nurturing as you're talking about, that bother you about media today when you watch television and you see what it's like now compared to what it was like when you started? Does anything bother you?
Not at 60 Minutes.
Right. Good answer.
I think there's so much less time for journalists to think today.
Yeah.
You know, they have to be out on the lawn if you're covering the White House, as I did, instantly.
Yeah.
And I worry that there's not enough time for journalists to make the phone calls, do the background research, because there's so much pressure to get it out quickly, and particularly when you're doing things online. It's almost instant. You hear it and you have to put it right out.
And that's how people get in trouble, because you're trying to get it out so fast.
Exactly, but also your stories have less depth. But it's where we're headed. You know, you can't stop the wave, I don't think.
Well, you're clearly adapting. You
Well, I don't
adapt.
know.
That's how you've survived so long. I mean,
60 minutes. 60 minutes, we do it the old way. Everything is exactly the same. I've been at 60 Minutes, it's my 25th year. And we do it exactly the same way as the day I got there. Spend as much time and really go into depth. So for me, I'm really lucky. I know I'm lucky.
And that's what people love about 60 Minutes, is that it gives people what they're thirsting for now.
Exactly. There's an appetite for it.
Yeah.
And I wish there were more outlets.
Leslie, it's fascinating talking to you. If you would like to hear more from Leslie, she is the keynote speaker at Books and Boutiques today. It starts at 10 a.m. at the Overland Park Convention Center. So come on out and meet her.
One more thing.
Yes.
One more thing.
Yes, yes.
Becoming grandmother is a great Mother's Day present.
That is. Very, very good Mother's Day present. It's
Exactly.
a fascinating book
you.
and a little insight into your world.
Thank